it was just a great experience overall.
We have a disco toilet.
And not only does it work, but it works on 110, which blew my mind.
Anything that's dual purpose, I love. Hi, my name's Angela, and this is Charlie.
And I'm Sky.
It took me about 10 months to remodel the Scamp, and we want to take you in and show you around. So this is our little kitchen here. What inspired me to do what I did with the entire camper is, as soon as we got it, I thought to myself, what do I want to do with it? That was the first thing that I thought, okay, what do I want to do? I came up with a whole kind of cactus and pine theme. Southwestern, I definitely wanted to incorporate kind of those three design features to the camper. You'll see here I have a cactus hook that I drilled into this pole. These cabinets were custom built into the camper. When we got it, they were stained, this is teak wood, and they were stained a cherry finish, which I wasn't a fan of. So I painted everything white, added hardware, painted the hinges black. This is the original stove. One of the mistakes that I did was I got a high heat spray paint for this stove cover, and as soon as I got it back in the Scamp, screwed it on, it started chipping. So one of the tips that I would have for you, if you want anything recovered or enameled, try to find a local powder coating company. And that's what we did, is I reached out to a local powder coating company, and the prices were actually really reasonable. So they did a high gloss finish and then high heat finish on the grates for the stove. And this is a Wedgwood. I did the whole backsplash. So the backsplash is peel and stick. I know a lot of people do the peel and stick with theirs. It was a little tricky, and we actually found old kind of fire damage from a prior owner when we removed, they had an old gunmetal backsplash on here, which we removed. And then we ended up having to router a piece of plywood and then screw it in around the window. We weren't able to take the window off. And then I used the cabinet trim. I ordered more from the Scamp website, which is a nice thing. The Scamp website has a lot of things custom to Scamps that you can order. So I ordered that for trim. And I did a lot of caulking around and around the window just because I wanted it to look a little bit more finished. This is just a cover that we found online to cover the sink. In the drawer here, we just have all of our utensils. Underneath, we just have sweepers. You always have to have a sweeper in a camper. And then down below, just more towels, dish towels. We have some cleaner, some solid dish soap. That's pretty much it. So this is the storage above the kitchen. So I turned this into our pantry. And just various things up here, like honey, salt and pepper shakers, toothpicks, lots of salt. I like kind of gourmet salt when I cook things. I think salt makes everything taste better. So up here is clothing. My clothing is on this side, and then I also have some kind of personal things that I keep in the Scamp just to make it really ready to go when we want to get on the road or go somewhere for a weekend. This is the Dometic fridge that came with this Scamp when we bought it. It runs off of electric and propane. One of the things that I did was put a faux stainless steel contact paper on here. I actually had to do this twice because I messed up and didn't X-Acto knife it exactly the way I wanted. So I just overlaid another one right on top of it. It was pretty stained. Again, this is a 1997, so we don't know. I mean, it's old. It's an old camper, so I just wanted to cover that up with this contact paper. And then up here is where we keep all of our dinnerware, our coffee. You got to have coffee, good coffee, pour over. Of course, beverages. I have this antique lunchbox that I actually got from my parents, and we just Open it up. We have our shaker, flask, shot glasses, anything that you'd want to make a beverage. One of these, it's like an all utility beverage maker, which I wanted to have. Anything that's dual purpose, I love, and it makes life living in a tiny camper so much easier.
So we're lucky enough to have my mom have a place up here in Flagstaff, and not too far up the road is a little camping spot that's really good. And we were out hiking, and we ran into a couple that turns out to be on Instagram, and they have Poco Scamp as their tag. And they were super nice people and gave us a tour of their whole little scamp that they have. And they have 2 daughters, and their layout's a little different. And we were like, man, you know, you can actually have 4 people in this little camper. Like, how cool is that? And so we just kept in touch with them through Instagram, and we started looking for our scamp. And we just kept looking, and everything that we found was always either 2,000 miles away or $2,000 over our budget. And so I'm kind of a real estate guy and look around on the realtor.com and find houses in our neighborhood. And our neighbor put up his house 2 houses down from us, and I started kind of just clicking around, and
he sent me the link to the listing, and I looked at it at work, but I was busy, so he had asked if I had seen one of the pictures in the backyard, and I said no. So then he sent me the screenshot of what was in the backyard, which was this scamp.
So she goes, you have to go over there
go
right
ask
now
him if it's for sale
and talk to him. And so I went over there and knocked on his door, and of course the poor guy's packing, and he was a really nice guy. And he said, yeah, I'm actually driving this to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where we're moving, and I'm going to sell it there. And I was like, well, if you want to save yourself the trip, we'd like to buy it. And so he was really nice and gave us a really fair deal. And we kind of helped dig it out of the backyard, because he'd only owned it for a year, but never really used it. And so we pulled it out and literally drove down the 2 houses and backed it into our yard. And Angela was extremely happy, and you know, we'd been looking for one for almost 2 years. And then she just started her journey of remodeling the place, and it was just a great experience overall.
Okay, so this is our bathroom. It's very tiny. I painted the trim here by a company called Backdrop. So this is called Lawn Party Green. And I painted the inside wall as well, just kind of as a feature wall to blend in with the peel and stick wallpaper that we did on this wall as well. Not really intended for this sort of purpose, but I felt like it would be pretty fun to have like the outside in and bring that pine theme to the design of the camper. So I got this mushroom mat, which just so happened to fit in here perfectly. And anybody loves a nice plush rug under their feet. So that's why I got it. I didn't want to just step on the plywood board that came with the Scamp, which you can lift up. And underneath I put a teak slatted mat there. So if and when we use the shower, you have something to stand on and your feet aren't sitting in the water. One of the tricks that we heard is that you just let the water kind of come up in the basin of the shower, and that's kind of how you know how much water you're using. And then once it's full, then you drain it all at once, but that lifts your feet up off the well of the shower. There is a little trash can in here. This is a solution that I came up with. This is actually like a laundry bin that I got off of Amazon, and we're going to use it as our trash. So we're keeping our trash in our shower, which is okay. It's fine. Bathroom's gonna be kind of smelly sometimes anyhow, so we figured might as well put the trash in there. Of course, a toilet paper holder that you can set your phone on, or baby wipes or whatever. We all know we surf our phones when we're sitting on the toilet. So you have a place to put your phone. And then inside we have, I kind of folded it up, but this is a curtain that has, shower curtain that has storage. So again, anything with more storage is amazing. And then inside the bathroom, I just have 2 baskets here, which hold some hand towels, tissues, some vinegar spray for the toilet. Another cool thing that I thought would be fun, I wanted to incorporate some fun little things for Charlie since she's 5 years old and the kid in me wanted something fun. So we have a disco toilet. So when you open the toilet and you put your hand here, it's motion activated, so we have a disco toilet, which is fun. So at night you come in here, you sit on the toilet and you have a nice strobe light disco for your midnight business. And that's our little bathroom. This is the dinette, which also can convert into a bed. So of course we needed a little place for Charlie to sleep. The table here we custom ordered from Lauren. She has a company called Little House on Maui. And so I custom ordered and worked with her on the design of this table and what I wanted. And I think it turned out great. I wanted to go with a more kind of minimalistic wood theme with a little Southwest feature in the middle here. The curtains are all new, which I ordered online. Macrame ties, which are pretty easy just to undo really quickly and close the window here at nighttime. These are blackout window curtains. The black ones are a little bit more blackout than the beige ones that we have, but they do a pretty good job. And the pillows are very Southwestern, go with the motif basically. These cushion covers, that's actually the original cushions underneath that came with the Scamp with the little flowers on here. I found these on Etsy and ordered them and they were pretty inexpensive. I didn't want to go with whole new cushions because that can be pretty pricey and kind of wanted to spend my budget elsewhere, like on the table. A little sign here, letterboard sign, and we can write the places that we're going, tiny home tours that is coming. So that's a fun, cute little feature to have. There was 2 little holes here in the fiberglass that I wanted to cover up. So that was perfect for that. We have an AC unit up above us right here. Not sure if it was original to the Scamp or if it was put in at some time during other ownership, but it works really well. And we're really happy because we live in Arizona. So if we have hookups, we can run the AC unit. We have a heater as well, which runs off propane. Works really well. It's a little loud when it kicks on, but Sky came up with a good system for letting it run for a little bit at a certain temperature. And so it'll stay off for a while because it heats up the whole camper. It stays warm for a long time. And so it's not continually kicking on like every 5 or 10 minutes. It takes like maybe 30 or 40 minutes. So it doesn't kick on as often. So he has a little system for that, which is nice. So our future plans with the Scamp is to take it on as many trips as possible. We have 1 trip planned so far. Actually, it's going to be a solo mom and dad trip up to the Grand Canyon to Boondock because we're going to do a test run for me. I'm planning on doing rim to rim to rim in October. So that will be a test run and then also a test run boondocking with the Scamp. But we want to go on as many trips as possible with Charlie with the Scamp. My parents also own a trailer which we actually borrowed and drove it to Yosemite and stayed at a campground at Bass Lake. It was called Wishin Campground. And we loved it. We just drove up to Yosemite for the day, spent the day there, hiked around. And that's kind of what got the fuel going to find a Scamp and get this kind of RV life and way of traveling underway with Charlie. She's young, and we figured road trips are a great way to show her the world, as well as airline travel, but traveling with a 5-year-old can be kind of difficult sometimes. So with the world and COVID and everything, we decided to go this route and see how many places and how many experiences we can do and show her, and go from there. So this is the bed area, and it came with original cushions. However, I did buy I believe it was a 6-inch memory foam mattress, pretty inexpensive, which I used a turkey carver, yes, a turkey carver, to cut the shape out using the old cushions that came with the Scamp. And then basically just some sheet elastic tighteners underneath to tighten it. And we did all of the bedding outside of the Scamp, brought the mattress in and shoved it in here. And basically we just sleep with this really chunky blanket. We also have some other blankets as well that we use. And it keeps us pretty warm. Okay, underneath the bed here is a custom pull-out drawer, which came with the Scamp. It's also made of teak wood, so it's really heavy, and it is on tracks, so we can pull it out. And I have a lot of storage under here with the crates. It makes it really nice to store a lot of things. I'm really happy that this came in the Scamp. And yeah, I mean, just these crates are stackable, so we just stack them one on top of each other. I don't even have everything in here, but really honestly endless amounts of storage with these crates down deep in there.
The biggest thing we did that really helped immensely was using marine restorative wax, and we re-waxed the whole thing twice. And if you don't drive it down a dirt road 7 miles, it's extremely shiny, but at the moment it looks pretty dull. And then you know, working from top to bottom, it did come with an air conditioner. It works, and not only does it work, but it works on 110, which blew my mind. And you know, being in Tempe, Arizona, you know, obviously the air conditioner is helpful to work on it and so on. And then, but we have decided that if the air conditioner were to go bad, we are actually going to remove it and put in a skylight, because we just don't feel like we're going to camp anywhere that's too hot. And then refrigerator vent for the propane, which we use propane most of the time because the 12-volt system currently is outdated, and we don't have a good battery system. We've been looking at getting lithium and maybe some solar to back that up, but we don't really see ourselves going for extended trips in this. You know, it's more of a weekend warrior, and we think a really good like 200 amp hour lithium battery would just totally cover us for the entire trip. So we don't need to go really huge with a whole electrical system. Replacing the axle was a huge part of doing our trailer, because with Scamps they have a torsion axle, and they have 4 rubber pads that twist, and after about 15 years they just kind of give up the ghost. And you'll see these Scamps riding lower and lower and lower, and you're thinking, man, how is that thing so low? Well, not only did we get the axle from Scamp.com, which is just awesome, it's, you know, obviously perfectly fit, and we had a guy weld it in, and he did a great job for us. Comes obviously with new bearings and grease. I painted up the wheels and increased the tire size just slightly to give just a touch more ground clearance, but not affect the wheel wells. And we actually had him twist the axle a bit when he welded it. It's so that we got just a little more ground clearance. He did a whole bracket thing. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's a huge part of keeping this thing nice, is making sure the suspension works properly.
One of my passions is design, and that's kind of what led me to want to remodel the Scamp. I love DIYs. I've done numerous DIYs for my parents in their house growing up, and that's something that I'm just very passionate about. You know, when you're 19 years old, you kind of have to pick a career path and go with it and see it through. And one of the things that I didn't really realize about myself until I was probably about 30 years old was the fact that I'm a highly creative person, and my creative outlet is design and design work. And I really got to showcase that in the Scamp. Thanks for joining us on our tour. If you would like to follow our journeys, our Instagram handle is at smore.scamping. That's smore.scamping, SCAMPING. If you want any design help or advice, you can DM us there at that Instagram handle. And we would love to see you guys out on the road and maybe have some s'mores together.